So, first and foremost, you might be wondering about my shirt. Well, you see, sometimes you watch or you read little tutorials that tell you this is a very easy thing that you can definitely do, but the truth is you can't. You can't do it. You're wrong. Anyway, we have some great Curious Cat Me questions today, so I'm going to jump right in. First of all, from the young Scott, if you were given an opportunity to write a spin-off story set in an existing story/series, what would you choose and what would it be about? I like this question. I have a lot of these, and I think really if I had grown up just slightly differently, I would be a big fan fiction writer because I'm actually always creating these sorts of stories. So the first one I ever wrote was when I was maybe 13, was for Dragon. Oh, sorry, this thing. I'm just still getting used to this goddamn selfie stick. Maybe if I prop my hand, haha. Oh, it's a little wobbly. Was for Dragon Ball Z. I created this other fighter chick who came down to the planet because I felt like Dragon Ball Z didn't really have any good women characters that I liked, because when I was younger I didn't like Bulma, fun fact, and I thought Chi-Chi was like annoying and mean. So I made this bomb-ass warrior woman. She was like another alien species, and I created a whole, like, I have pages and pages. I still have the notebook, the folder, it's about this thick, of like costumes that they wore and fighting moves that they used and special animals that they liked and what their powers were called, like all this shit. It was very in depth. So that was probably the first one that I did. Most recently, I find myself coming up with more stories in the Dragon Age world, just because they have so many mysteries that there's so many places there where you can fill them in. Now, if you mean a story as in just book form, not video game or not anime, that one's a little harder. I think it would probably be the Dark Jewels trilogy. I'd want to write something in that world because it's so lush and good. Like, if you haven't read Anne Bishop's Black Jewels trilogy, give it a try. I actually started with the second book, Heir to Shadows, but the first book is called Daughter of the Blood. The series is just so good. Her writing is freaking delicious. So give that a read. What is your guilty pleasure song? One that is terrible, but you can't stop loving. I have a lot, and you know what I realized? They're all Rihanna songs. Like, I don't feel bad about liking the Weeknd songs, because the truth is, Weeknd songs are not bad. They're good. People just hear them so much that they decide to hate them, or they don't get what he's talking about, and they're like, oh, it doesn't make sense. I can't feel my face. What kind of relationship is that? It's cocaine, you idiots. He's talking about drugs. Okay, sorry. Anyway. But Rihanna's songs, they're pretty, like, lyrically bad, but her voice and her, like, demeanor are so good that I love them anyway. So, like, Kiss It Better. Kiss it better, baby. It's so close to being a good song. It's like this far away from being a good fucking song, and it just, the lyrics just like, so I would say Rihanna's Kiss It Better right now, but a lot of Rihanna songs I think aren't quite good songs, but I fucking love her voice so much that I get addicted to them and love them anyway. How did you come to be in service to Bailey? My mom runs a cat rescue organization, and she told me, hey, I got this next cat, he's gonna be your cat. And I'm like, okay, Mom, whatever you say. And she has me go over to the lady's house with her, and there's two cats. They are called like Rudy and Randy or something like that. Little white snowy fuzzballs. And she's like, their mama is an orange tabby, actually. So we think the father must be like a Siamese or, you know, a Burmese cat or something like that. And also, I think female orange tabbies are rare too. Side note. Anyway, I picked up the littler one because he was trying to hide from me most, because I'm a contrary person, and I put him right here. And the cat who would become Bailey snuggled his little face right up here. He's really just trying to get away from me, but for me it was just like, this one's mine. And my mom was like, are you sure he's the uglier one? He's the smaller one. His fur is raggedy and rough because he actually was outside for a little bit. His twin brother has silky soft fur. Bailey has very coarse fur. And I was like, nope, it's this one. Sorry, this is my cat. And then I was going to give him a dope-ass name like Shalador or something from fantasy, but I looked at his stupid face and he's Bailey. What is a hobby or something you collect that you think might be surprising to your followers? I don't know. I feel like you guys aren't surprised by anything. I'm pretty sure you guessed that I collect Pop Funko. I used to collect Barbies. That used to surprise people. But I just like to collect them all together and make them have great epic wars and battles. And they were like, the white ones with blue eyes and blonde hair were slaves. And then I had like 5 kingdoms, each ruled by a queen. But the slaves could win their way free from slavery through gladiator battles. That always surprised people. But I don't collect them anymore. I don't know. I don't think I collect. I try not to collect things. Like even my Pop Funkos, I've decided I don't want to collect anymore because I don't like things that don't do something. I like stuff that's useful. Yeah, I'm looking around trying to think. I don't think there's anything. I've even started to not take posters. I don't like clutter. I don't like things that don't have a purpose. Shirts, t-shirts, that's not surprising, but that's probably the biggest thing I collect right now is t-shirts, and I'm trying to fucking stop. So far you've chosen cats over sex and wealth over love. To complete this trilogy, ask knowledge and misery or ignorance of bliss. I'm already living in knowledge and misery. That's the path I chose. If you could tell young Sarah 15 years ago something, what would it be? Let's see, I would have been about 15. Oh, I would have said, don't fucking open the door when that rapist comes knocking, but sorry, that's a little sad. Let me try to pick a not sad one. I think I would tell younger Sarah not to date, because younger Sarah has terrible taste and will constantly choose people that will hurt her. But I'd have to give younger Sarah something to do instead, so I would tell her to go into martial arts seriously. I kind of just let things flow a lot in my life, and I wish that when I was younger I had seized on the opportunity. My mom wouldn't let me do other martial arts, but she would have agreed to let me do karate, she said. I couldn't do boxing, which made me sad. But I should have just gone and did karate, or like talked my way into something else, because I feel like I missed out a lot by never forcing myself to be very athletic until near the end of high school. I did field hockey. What was your first video game that you played that made you feel like responsible for making you fall in love with gaming? I can't remember. I've been playing video games since I was a little kid, so I think I've just always loved video games. Yeah, I mean, I played Mario so addictively that I had to like negotiate to let my mom keep it on once while I was eating dinner because I was at the last stage and she was like, nope, turn it off. I was like, Mama, I will lose all of my progress. Please, I won't play. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to eat my dinner, but can you please just keep it paused and let me eat my dinner? And she finally said okay, and I was eating my dinner the whole time. She was like, you better eat properly. I'm like, please. And then I beat the game and got nothing as a reward. That's why I liked games back in the day. So I don't know. From then on I was always hooked. Favorite kind of fruit? I like strawberries, I think. I think those are my favorite. I don't know. It changes all the time. Sometimes I like apples. Is celery a fruit? That's probably a vegetable. I don't know my fruits. Can I be honest with you? I have no idea. Pineapple, maybe? No, it's not my favorite. Grapes! Grapes! Grapes are my favorite fruit. Not counting the commands you've done, if you could choose a D&D class for yourself in life, what would it be? I don't know how to not count the campaigns, Paladin, because I would always just be a barbarian. I would be a Dragonborn barbarian if I could. I want to be big and I want to hit people. It's my favorite. Alright, too many people are doing sex questions. So, is there anyone you might generally desire to work with on a new or creative project in one form or another, and why do you hope you would work well together? There's so many people. It's one of the things about being in Los Angeles. I'd love to work with Rachel Evans, who does We Are Snarled. I'd love to work with Danielle. She's on Vast right now, but she also does Tights and Fights. I'd love to work with Amy Dallin and do more comic-based stuff. Erika Ishii, because we're both really hype. I don't know, I always have lots of projects and thoughts. Kiri Callahan, I'd like to do a gaming series with her. The problem is everybody else in LA, we're all real fucking busy. So we'll see if I can actually make any of those happen. Would you wander if you could, or are you more of a find a place you love and make the most home sort of person? I am a wanderer. My family always knew it. They were like, you're a city girl, you're not meant to be here. And even when they didn't want to believe that, they knew it to be true. Sorry about that police sound in the background. It's as annoying to me as it is to you. So yeah, I like to wander. I like to go around, but for right now, I'm very happy in LA. As far as, I hope my boob doesn't fall out. It fell out while I was exercising. As far as the right people are here and the right stuff is here right now, but if I could like live off of being an author and I was traveling around, or if I got a job with WWE and got to work at the commentary table on Raw, going everywhere all the time, that would be my shit. I love to travel. Ninja Puss. I'm not a puss, I'm a man. Anyway, what jobs have you done and why did you leave them? Obviously, anything that would incriminate you could be left out. Oh boy, this is going to be a good-ass episode. I have worked at 47 Communications doing PR for video games like Skyrim and Dishonored and Sims 3 and all that stuff, and it was an internship, so apparently the head lady had a problem with me because I acted too much like a guy and not enough like a girl. I didn't ingratiate myself in her little group. So they decided not to keep me on, even though my work was fine. She lied and said that my work was bad to the CEO. Then from there, I moved on to Spotlight Media and, Social Spotlight Media, and what the fuck was that other, Silver Telegram? and they were both PR companies. They kind of shared me, and they were the best place to learn PR because I basically had two different types of teachers. I had one who was really strict and made me do things I didn't like, but that forced me to grow, and I had one who was very comforting and nice, who helped me develop the things that I was good at. So I had a perfect balance of like not getting frustrated and fed up with PR, but also being forced to learn and to grow. That's where I discovered I was really good at social media and that it was kind of natural to me. I left there to go because I got kidnapped away to Maker Studios by a friend who worked there at the time who was like, you'd be really good here. There I managed channels like Markiplier and Comic Book Girl 19 and the Satine Phoenix and just a bunch of people. It was really dope. Trade Chat. Pretty much almost all of my Lucagen, all my favorite YouTubers actually, and helped Markiplier get his first his very first deal actually, to be a part of kind of a group business thing. So it was the big kickoff to him meeting the other YouTubers and to him finally getting to 1 million, his first 1 million. So that was a really cool accomplishment. And I helped quite a few other channels grow. Every channel I had grew by at least 20%, except for the ones that wouldn't listen to advice. But I left there. Oh, they had layoffs. That's right. I was like, why did I live there? I'm really happy that they had layoffs and that they laid me off because that culture at Maker was shitty. Not gonna lie. Is very bro-y. I didn't fit in. I didn't get along. And at the time, I was very hurt. I was like, damn, I'm really good at my job. Like, amazing at my job. Everyone says so. But the truth was, I couldn't stand any of those people. And I needed to be forced out to realize that it wasn't the right place for me. From there, I went to Geek and Sundry, which was awesome at first. And then, you know, that was a company that kind of suffered from... How can I say this without getting anybody in trouble? When you have a creative person in charge and your people are afraid to stand up to that creative person, then you're going to get into some shit. Is kind of what happened at Geek and Sundry. And so they were into some shit. And eventually it got to the point where they said one too many bullshit things my way. And I was like, bye. Then I ended up working at Loot Crate. And Loot Crate, they were an amazing place to work until they had their first layoffs. And then their first layoffs that they had changed the structure of the company. And the new company that they formed was not the company that I had signed up for, that I wanted to work for anymore. And so I was basically working a job I hated and going to work every day and hating my life. And that wasn't something I was used to. So eventually, luckily that ended as well. Those are the jobs I've had since coming to Los Angeles. If we talked about the jobs I had before coming to Los Angeles, I've had so many fucking jobs. I've had a lot. I've been youth planner for the city of Hampton. I did like 70 jobs at my college because that's how I paid for college, partially besides scholarships. Like, I have a resume that's about 5 pages long if I put everything on it, so I don't put everything on it. So those are the main ones since coming to LA. This is a 2-part and very long question. Oh, God. Wait, hang on. Let's read the shorter one. This is a reference to a previous answer about your perfect adult video scene. Were you memeing with that answer? And if not, I'm surprised you picked Roadhog instead of Hanzo. I like freaky weird shit, Ninja. Like, when I'm masturbating, I want it to be the grossest, like, weirdest shit. Not, like, the grossest. I have some limits. I don't really like watching vomit. It makes me want to vomit. But, like, I get off on weird shit that I would never do. So, I want to watch Roadhog face fucking one of the girls from Overwatch. That's what I want to watch. This is a 2-part, very long question. Do you think you would date someone with a moderate to severe mental illness? I realize it wouldn't affect you as much because of how you date. So if Capone was bipolar and occasionally medicine wasn't fully effective, would you still live with him? Also, just in case the last question wasn't heavy enough, would you date a transsexual man? I ask because people often say how much they support these people, yet I don't think many of these same people would share their lives with them that intimately. The only slight difference is that there's some romanticism to dating someone with schizophrenia, since it's easier for people to understand the difficulty of seeing things that aren't there than having a hard time understanding social cues. There's no judgment either way. I have a mental illness, and I wouldn't date myself until I got my shit together. Refuse anyone strange enough to want to date me. I also don't think I could be with a trans person even if it was normal. Thanks for reading, and have a nice voice, IMO. Oh, thank you. I don't think I have a nice voice. If I fell in love with a trans person, I would date them. Let's pretend like my current situation isn't here to answer this question. My only rule is that any person I fuck has to have a dick. Sorry if that offends anybody. It's just I like what I like. So if it is a trans man who has a penis, I am totally down to fuck and to date and whatnot. If it is a trans man without a penis, I'm probably not going to get to the point where I would want to date said person. That's just a peculiarity of Sarah. I would also date trans women with penises. Fun Sarah facts. Trying to bang one right now, but she keeps going on. It's fine. We'll work on it one day. Anyway, penis is the main thing that decides whether or not I date somebody. So that's really the only barrier there. As far as a mental illness, I have to be honest, if it's a mental illness that they don't have under control, then no. Because I've been in too many abusive relationships to be able to be in a relationship where somebody's going to take out any of their problems on me. And that might sound cruel, but even having best friends with depression has gotten to the point where I've had to step back from those friendships and be like, I cannot be your therapist. You need to talk to your therapist. I don't want you to hurt yourself, but you are hurting me because I am very easily put into a bad mood. I'm very easily stressed out. I shouldn't have to call the cops all the time to protect you, blah, 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 blah. Mental illness is something that I don't understand that well. I'm not a psychologist. I haven't been raised in a household with mental illness. So it's something that I try to just do my best and be as supportive as possible for people. But I also have to put my own mask on before turning and assisting others. So in a relationship, if it is a disability to the point where they potentially could take out some of that on me, absolutely not. I've already been in terrible situations. I don't need to add to my fucking troubles. Anyway, that was a downer. Wish I ended on a happier question. I should read these questions before answering them. This was a super long one because you guys actually had really good questions instead of all these sex questions. Good job, everybody. Anyway, head to curiouscat.me/SarahTheRebel if you want to ask me more questions. And until then, I shall see you on Ready to Ramble tonight at 7 p.m. on Hyper RPG. Bye!